Welcome to A Bridge Podcast, hosted by Nard and produced by Alphonse and King Roach. On this show, we will discuss all topics that range from sports, entertainment, and the lifestyles that shape our lives. None of this would be possible without the support of our family and loved ones. Follow us on abridgepodcast.com. Welcome. Thanks for joining the conversation here at A Bridge Podcast. Oh man, today we changing the game. How my guys doing? The big three, we back.
Yeah, we in the building, baby. We back,
There you go. Executive produced by Alphonse and King Roach, man. I see, man, they don't want us to be the big three. They tried to bring James Harden in, complicated the situation.
They couldn't take us, man.
Oh, man, we putting pressure on people.
It's okay, though. We making noise, man. We making noise.
Nah, that's what's up, man.
Harden coming in.
Yo, man, I'm definitely, just happy to be here, man. You know, man, salute to our president, Mr. Joe Biden, and Vice President, Sister Kamala Harris. You know, man, give so many people who look like us the opportunity to dream big, man, because later for that, man, she's the first of everything, man, and we really blessed to be in this position, man. You know, you think about it, in our years, man, we really seen a lot of firsts, man.
Yeah.
You know? But Definitely, man. Moving forward, though, man, seriously, man, today we bring to you, here on A Bridge Podcast, we bring to you Bishop Lamor Miller Whitehead. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm getting right to it. I ain't never had a clergyman on this show as to date. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So welcome, brother. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, man.
Nah, man. Thanks, man. I can imagine, man, with that title, man. I know your schedule is complicated.
Yeah, man. I'm pushing dope, man.
Nah, that's what's up. Dope blazer too. That's my man. You know.
Thank you, brother.
Pat, you ain't even tell me. I should have got dressed, man. Come on, man. This is going out to the masses, man. Nah, but brother, tell us about you, man.
Well, I want to thank you guys for having me on. It's a privilege and an honor to see young men that have a vision and that want to change the game. You know, that's what we're doing. I knew Pat. He knew me since I was a little boy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about. I used to run behind them playing ball with him, Comrade McCrae.
Okay.
You know, my cousin Ephraim Whitehead.
Oh, Ephraim. Oh, you related to Ephraim. Okay. That's my guy.
Yeah. So, you know, I grew up under them.
Nice.
And I thank you guys for the opportunity for having me today. Well, you know, I'm pushing forward, man. I'm a bishop.
Okay.
I have two churches.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I have one in Brooklyn. It's called Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries. I have a Brooklyn location and on Remsen Avenue, 922 Remsen Avenue. Brooklyn, New York, and then I also have an Atlanta location.
Okay, dope.
Yeah, and College Park. So God is just doing a great work in my life, and you know that I'm running to be the Brooklyn Bowl president. Okay,
you're shooting for the thing. So you're from Brooklyn?
Yes.
You're born and raised in Brooklyn. Okay.
Born and raised in Brooklyn, Crown Heights, Brooklyn.
Oh, Crown Heights. Okay, and Ephraim's from Brownsville, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's right across the street, right?
Yeah, Langston Hughes Project.
Okay, yeah, dope. Shout out to E. And you, congrats though, man. 2 churches, that's big, man. Mm-hmm. That's big. So you got serious family structure.
Yeah, man. You know.
You grew up in the church?
Well, my mom and my grandmother.
Okay.
Brought me to church, and it was a requirement in our house.
Right.
So, but as far as I am the first preacher in my family, I'm the first bishop. I am at the highest level of the bishopric. I'm a presiding prelate. So that's a great milestone for someone young as myself to be in that position.
And also, because I actually attend, I'm a member of Love Fellowship Tabernacle, Bishop Hezekiah Walker and everything, and to see you guys work and to command, command the troops, because that the place that you guys reign over, it's like the hospital.
Right.
You come there to get well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we definitely appreciate you on that, man.
I know
yeah, definitely. So tell us about your mom, your pop, and because a lot of us grew up going to church and everything, but we didn't stay there.
Right.
Tell us how you end up staying there.
Well, I'm a Brooklynite.
Okay.
And you can grow up anywhere in the world, but it's not like Brooklyn.
Indeed.
You know,
Indeed.
so I have a peculiar background where that, you know, my mom raised me. And the reason why my mother raised me was because my father was killed by the police officers in 1978.
Wow.
Yeah, because of the color of his skin, he was beat and strangled to death by 16 police officers.
Wow.
Yeah, from the 77 precinct. And there was a lot of racism going on back then, and you know, unfortunately, you know, racism was the death of my father. He was a activist in the Crown Heights community, started the 5-Star Block Association where he created security for the people. He did all the block parties. He fed people, children that didn't have clothes to school, go to school. He did everything, you know.
Right. Did a lot of the stuff that they don't talk about.
Right.
Right.
And because of the color of his skin, you know, he was able, because he owned a construction company, a security firm, and he was able to carry a pistol.
Okay.
And he was able to carry it out. It was licensed, and the police didn't like it, and they picked a fight with him and handcuffed him.
Situation ensued.
Yeah, and they beat him, and you know, they choked him to death. So he was before Eric Gardner and all the other young men that are dying due to police brutality. So I had to grow up. You know, his name was Arthur Miller.
Okay.
And I had to grow up without a father, which was very, very difficult. You know, growing up as a black man. Not only growing up as a black man, but growing up as a black man in Brooklyn.
Right. And also too, like you had to develop some type of hatred for those individuals, man. I mean, you know, it's just it's a natural response.
Well, you know what, Nard? It's funny you say that because I never hated them.
Wow.
You know, I always looked at as hate to distort and destroy your destiny.
Okay.
Right? And it's funny how you stated hate. I was young when that happened. I was only 6 weeks old. And me becoming a young man, I said, I want to do the research. How did I ever have my dad here on the planet for Father's Day?
Right.
And I did the research, and Father's Day in 1978 was June 18th, 1978. And he died June 14th, 1978.
Wow.
So I never had my father for
Father's Day.
So when I was younger and growing up, people tried to teach me how to hate police because of their emotions or what they felt.
And because of what he did to your people, they felt that you should be angry.
Right. So all of the things that my father had done for the community loved my father. So therefore, in their emotions, they tried to teach me how to hate.
And they developed resentment.
Their broken heart. See, it wasn't my broken heart. I get it. I get what happened, and me being a pastor, I'm able to understand how to forgive.
Okay.
Right? Because if we don't forgive, the person who offended you will always be the Lord over you.
Okay. I understand.
Right. And what I teach is how can somebody so small control something so big?
Okay.
You know, so if I would allow them to make me hate the NYPD or hate police officers, then I would have a hatred and no love. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes me different from people, because I like to mend the gap.
Okay.
Bridge the gap. You know
okay, definitely. That's what we talk about here at A Bridge Podcast, man. Mm-hmm. You know, that's deep though, because when you hear it, like when you hear something tragic as that,
right.
The first thing, like for me, the first thing I thought was like, wow, I would have been tight, I would have been this, I'd have been that. But at the end of the day, being a child and not knowing, and then as your mind is shaping and you're learning stuff and you're learning about things, you start to look at things different. And like you said, you know, with your family structure, your mom and them, and being in church young and seeing stuff that you wanted to identify with the positive.
But you know what? It wasn't necessarily the church.
Okay.
It was a decision that I made.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I played ball. I always had a very passionate type of
demeanor.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so at the end of the day, I just pretty much said, why would I allow myself to hate what people have done? I can't change it. Mm-hmm. Right? And I think that is the psychotic piece of unforgiveness. because you try to change something that can never be changed. No one can go in the back, and no one can go into the past and change the past.
Right, rewrite that, exactly.
Right. So I've learned to, and one of my mentors now, who's actually now the Brooklyn Bowl president, Eric Adams, he's always told me, he says, Lamar, allow your pain to be turned into purpose. And that's what I always did throughout my life. I just never understood the connectivity, how I bridge the gap between pain and purpose.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So to bridge the gap between pain and purpose, you have to be able to go through the process. So I did not process what people told me, how they wanted me to process their anger. I made a decision that God made me who I am.
Right.
So let me process this the way I
Right, and everybody's process is different, and also too, it's amazing you said, like, you know, between pain and purpose, because a lot of people spend their time here on earth and living in a form, and they go through life, and a lot of lives don't connect with a purpose.
Right.
People just living.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that makes a lot of sense, man.
Right.
So like in developing that concept as you're growing up, like, you know, when you go through stages from junior high school, you went to junior high school, like where'd you go to, Mahalia Jackson? So
Yeah,
that's
so-
like,
yeah, yeah, so-
you went there?
Yeah.
It's the Crown High School.
Yeah. So first I went to 391.
Okay.
And then I transferred to 390. Right.
Okay, 390, and then what high school did you go to?
I went to Grady first.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
And you back in the building again.
Coney Island every week, yo. And then Coney Island not even in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Nah, that joint is in Coney Island. They don't never say they from here, man.
Yeah, but
Shout
I
out
went
to Coney Island.
Yeah, I went to Grady. I went to Grady for my first year.
Okay.
And then I transferred to Sheepshead Bay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
transferred to Sheepshead Bay basketball, and I played.
Grady had all the chuckers.
Yeah.
Grady
So
had
I
all
wanted
the
to play
chuckers.
against Grady. So I went to Grady because of my cousin.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's all I knew.
Right. He did his numbers there.
Right. So
He
then
did
I
his
said,
numbers
hold on,
there.
It's too many. So you know I want to play against him.
Okay.
So I went to Sheepshead Bay and I killed Grady. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Killed Grady. You heard that, Pat?
They
See,
killed us, but I don't know we got the win, though. I know we got the win.
I got the win.
We got the win.
Yeah, they did beat us.
That's like Iverson killed Mike, right? But Mike had 35 and won that game.
Yeah.
Okay. Nah, that's what's up, though, man. And after high school,
Yeah. So after high school, I went to Shaw University.
okay, North Carolina.
Yeah, Raleigh, North Carolina, and
And Ray Haskins coached there, right? At one time, Ray Haskins.
Sure.
Yeah, he went to Shaw. He said Shaw.
Yeah, Shaw.
Yeah, Ray Haskins coached there at one time.
yeah. So and then I transferred from Shaw after my first year, and I was on full scholarship. I went to Eastern New Mexico University.
Oh, Eastern New Mexico.
So that was out there in Portales, New Mexico. So Brooklyn boy was out
I know
there.
a couple of cats went there.
Yeah, so-
Deron Rippey went there.
Yeah, so then
Right.
I had got injured, so I came back and I went to Farmingdale University. So
Oh, you came back to party.
Nah.
Farmingdale used to be janking. The parties used to be
I was there
janking.
for a minute.
yeah, so I went there, and then I was into modeling, acting.
Okay.
I was heavy into the industry as far as modeling. I started with doing fat fashion with Ralph McDaniels.
Okay.
He used to do my fashion shows, and I modeled for Carcanine.
We do music box shows.
Yeah, right.
I modeled for Carcanine. I modeled for a Tommy Hilfiger, Mecca, a Nietzsche.
Oh, that's
Fubu.
dope.
Yeah, I was one of Fubu's first models.
Okay. For us, by us.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
So
Nah, that's great though, man.
Yeah, and
Dope
then that-
lineage.
Yeah, then that took me into the hip hop industry, where I was meeting a lot of different hip hop artists, and so I got into music, and began to start my own management company, dealing with different labels. So I really got really deep into it, and I just started to connect. I'm a connector, so I started to
Okay.
connect. And
Yeah, networking is important.
yeah, networking. Yeah, definitely networking. And then right after that, I started my own real estate firm,
Okay.
and I started my own mortgage firm.
Nice.
And what I did was I had my own mortgage firm first, because what I did was I bought into a franchise.
Yeah, well, help the people to understand, like, what's the difference between a mortgage firm and a real estate firm.
So a mortgage firm is a broker.
Okay.
He's a broker. He's the one that broker deals. So therefore, I had around 200 banks. I had around 200 banks where that I broker deals from. So if people came and needed a mortgage and they did not want to deal with a bank directly with all of the scrutiny and different things of that nature, I had a team where we took care of all of the information for you, submitted everything, and we had our fee.
Okay.
So I was the man in the middle, but I had 200 banks. So
Right,
if you didn't get approved for one, I would definitely get
He's
you
approved
approved.
for somebody.
Right.
Nah.
So what I did was I started my own mortgage firm, but then I said, wow, you know, I'm into the church, right? And I wasn't a minister yet. And I said,
And at that time, what church you attending?
I was attending Pleasant Grove Tabernacle.
Okay, Pleasant Grove. Okay.
Yeah. And I said, wow, I'm so influential into the church. I'm into fashion. I'm into music. I have a lot of people. So I said, wow, so many people are coming to me to do mortgages. I'm making money. So why don't I just corner the whole market and start my own real estate firm? Because I understand real estate.
Right,
I know real estate. So I started my own real estate firm because you can get up to 6% of every sale. And with mortgages, you can get up to 6% of every mortgage that you've done. So
Right.
I was able to make 12 points off of every deal. You know, and that's 12%.
Not bad.
That was 12%. That was 12% off of. So you get 6% off of the mortgage. Let's say the mortgage is 700,000. That's
Right.
6% of the 700,000, and the property is being sold for 700,000. That's 6% of that 700,000.
Right.
So I'm getting two incomes because I cornered the market.
Right.
You know, so I was bringing people in from my real estate firm, getting the 6%, and I was doing the mortgages.
Nice.
So yeah, so it was very lucrative, and we was on Wall Street, and then we started to grow. I had a team, and FUBU, those are my guys.
Okay.
Dame and Jay and all the rest of them, Dwayne and Carl, those are my guys.
Okay.
So I went to I moved my office to the Empire State Building, so we was right underneath FUBU. So I had offices there, and we were just doing our numbers. It was a beautiful thing.
No, that's what's up. Congrats on that, man. That's big, man.
Yeah.
Definitely, man.
And let me just say this, right? So, because I know that you want to talk a little bit about the real estate piece. So now what I do is, since I've been in the game for over 20 years, I purchase and flip properties.
Okay.
I noticed like clockwork. So I'm not into the mortgages no more. I'm not into the selling properties as far as being a real estate broker. But now I buy distressed properties and I fix them up and then I sell them.
Okay.
And I also teach a class. I teach classes for free.
Okay.
Classes that will cost $5,000 for 2-3 months. I teach for free to the
That's
community.
dope, man.
And I teach them from A to Z about real estate and what they need to know, zoning, and just all type of different things. So I have last semester I had over 100 students. This semester I have close to 100 students.
Okay.
That I teach them Tuesday and Thursday, and these are a lot of people that are.
And is this a 2-hour class, 3-hour class?
So it's
session?
supposed to be one, but I let it
You
go
extend
to
it?
about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, because I like to allow people to ask as many questions as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very open to it. And if these are minorities, these are a lot of church people, church folk that want to know about how to buy property, first-time home buyers, and not get bamboozled.
Okay.
So
And you can, because one of the biggest downfalls in life and in situations is the lack of knowledge.
Right.
So when a person doesn't have the knowledge, they will get misled.
Right.
And like looking how you look and doing the things you're doing and dealing with money and dealing with mortgaging companies and so on, did it ever like complicate you, put you on the other side of the law, or put you inside like in the law's eye, in the law's eyes, where it's like you were doing something that you shouldn't have been doing because of how you looked?
No. So what happened was when I was coming up, right, and you growing up in Brooklyn, you know a lot of people that stick and move.
Okay.
Right. And
Absolutely.
People on the other side, and sometimes you are involved with people that are involved with things.
Guilt by association
Right.
sometimes.
That too. So at the end of the day, I have my own mortgage firm. I have my own real estate firm, and these police officers wanted me to tell on some people that I knew. Right, and I told them, I don't know what type of cloth you think I'm cut
Right,
from, but
right.
I ain't on that type of time. So they manipulated a lot of charges against me, identity theft, grand larceny, scheme to defraud. A whole
Wow.
bunch of, they trumped up the charges on me, and it was Suffolk County, so they're very racist out there.
Oh, definitely.
Right, so they railroaded me. They hid evidence from my attorney.
And they just got a black
DA.
no police chief or
Oh, yeah,
something.
yeah,
They just
yeah,
got a
yeah,
black
yeah.
police chief. That's
Yeah.
crazy how things have changed, right?
Things have changed.
Wow.
Yeah, right. So, they hid evidence from my attorneys. They withheld evidence from my attorneys. The
Wow.
search warrants was illegal.
Bogus,
they
crazy.
did so much stuff to me, but what they did was they hid it from me, and I went to trial. I had to fire a few of my lawyers. I had 4 lawyers because they was robbing me. for
Negligent?
money. Yeah. because
Negligent
at the end of the
and-
day, I was making money at my mortgage firm and my real estate firm. It didn't have nothing to do with my mortgage firm and real estate firm. It had everything to do with friends that I had in 2004.
Okay.
So that indictment happened in 2006, and I had went to trial in 2008. So
Wow.
it had nothing to do with
The other
real
thing.
estate or mortgage at all. It was everything to do with they wanted me to tell on some friends that they knew was maybe shaking and moving.
Okay.
So they railroaded me, and I lost trial due to the fact it was illegal because they hid evidence.
And misrepresentation.
Yeah, it was so
Wow.
much that they've done, that is now I'm still finding things out.
Wow.
So I went to so the judge sentenced me to 11 1/3 to 34 years. Yeah, I've never had a felony
Paper
in
crime.
my life. Yeah, never had a felony in my life. This was my first felony, and he sentenced me to multiple consecutive counts. And the highest count that I had was a D felony, but he gave me for the he gave me D's and E's. For the E felony, he gave me 1 1/3 to 4 years, and for all the rest of the D felonies, he gave me 1 to 3 years and 1 year. But he ran them consecutive.
So it amounted to 11
Right.
and a half to
Right. So he added it all up.
right.
And it became 11 and a half to 34 years.
Wow.
So, no, excuse me, 11 1/3 to 34 years. And it was all illegal. So I spent 6 years in prison. However, by the grace of God, God allowed me to file my own motion
Okay.
and get out.
God bless. God
Right.
bless. God is good.
Yeah, and I was able to prove that he sentenced me to crimes that I was found not guilty of. He gave me time to crimes that I found.
This
found
is
not
crazy.
guilty. It was a
man.
lot,
And you here now.
Right.
Now, God bless. God
Right.
bless.
Right.
That's what's up, man.
Right.
Wow. And it's crazy because for the paper crimes, they don't even get that.
Yeah.
When I say they, I mean those who don't look like us. It is what it is, man.
Right.
This is A Bridge. I can say what I want to say here.
right.
You know what I mean?
It's funny you say that. However, I don't think that I would have changed it.
Okay.
Because what God has done through me and what God has allowed me to see, I would never be able to be who I am today.
Right.
One of the things that make me different from people is sight, vision. And in order for you to have sight and vision, you have to be to a place to see.
Okay.
And to see my brothers in prison that I was with, and to see all of the illegal incarcerations, and to see the broken hearts on the visiting floor, and to understand that trauma and that experience, I would never be able to speak nor teach to people that have been afflicted by that pain.
And you I know saying through the grace of God and because I know when you get jammed up and everything, prayer become real evident and you really get into it and everything. So you were already heavy in the church. Were you ministering? You were ministering then?
Yeah. So it's funny you had said that. So I had actually got married on July 1st. I think it was 2007.
You think?
Yeah.
You think it was 2007?
No,
All right.
That's
why you think.
I'm remarried with the right one.
Now, there you go. Salute to your wife.
Yeah,
Salute to your wife.
So it was July 1st, 2007. I got married, and then July 8th, I got ordained as a minister. And then
God bless.
Yeah, that was on, I believe, that Thursday or so. And that Tuesday, I lost trial, and I didn't see the light of day until 2013.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a pivotal point in my life, where I had to pivot, and I was a minister, and I just became a minister, and I didn't doubt God, right? And I was upset. I was upset, but I didn't doubt God. and I got closer to him, and no one can tell me that he ain't do it for me because I know where I was.
Nah, that's dope. I mean, that's serious. And it's crazy because when you say that, a lot of times in situation in life, I don't know if it's just because I love it so much, but like this, again, this reminds me, like in the book of Job, no matter what, like he was not going to speak out against God. And, and God rewarded him tenfold like yourself.
Right.
You know, but like with so much going on, and I know it's testing your faith. It's testing your faith. So like what in you like allowed you to like apply the principles and push forward?
My yes to God.
Okay.
See, when you give God a yes, and when God comes back to collect that yes, are you really gonna be a man about it?
Okay.
Because a lot of times we always say yes to God. God, open this door for me, God, and God, I'll do what you need me to do, God. And we give God all of these promises, but then when he say, okay, cool, I'm going to allow the devil to attack, and are we still going to say yes to God?
Right.
You use a scripture called Job, right? A lot of people don't understand that scripture. The reason why Job has strength was because he actually prayed before the attack.
Right.
Right.
And also too, in that like a lot of people miss it because I know for years I missed it that God offered Job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
Right.
him being so upstanding, like he offered him,
Right.
and that was amazing.
Right.
And it's like when you say you know your yes to God, like that's like really like even though we don't have the right or the ability to tell him what to do, our yes to him is saying like, come and deal with these things down here on earth.
So at the end of the day, right, we must understand that, you know, God had told me 3 words. He said, you have a purpose, you have a process, and you have a promise. You will never understand your purpose without going through your process. And you will never obtain your promise without going through your purpose. You will never understand your process without going through you will never understand your process without understanding your promise, right? So everything is connected to each other, right? But the key to those 3 words is your process. Your process.
You can do it, your bridge.
Right, your bridge. That's what
Right.
the name of the show is.
Right. A bridge, indeed.
Right, so the process is what builds the bridge. It builds your character, it builds your integrity, so therefore you'll have value.
Allows
for
you to
your
step
purpose.
into your promise.
Right, but you have value for your purpose, so therefore you will understand your promise.
Here you go.
See, a lot of people walk into what they believe is their promise, but they don't have a value of their purpose. So that's why they throw away what they think is their promise. And that's why they forfeit it. So that's the key, and that's what God told me. He said you have a purpose, a process, and a promise. And in order for me to get to my promise, I have to value my purpose through my process.
Like, I could dig it, man.
Right.
I could dig it. And like you in a position like to help so many people, man. Like, you know, it's like what's so rewarding for you? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to get the right words and everything because I'm sitting here. I'm trying to be in the right place because I'm dealing with a bishop, so I can't bring all the bad stuff with me tonight.
No,
you know what I mean?
Bring it on. I'm Brooklyn. Bring it on.
You know, but I want I want to know like what's going to be like rewarding and what's important in reference to you moving forward, like, you know, shooting for borough president, you know what I mean, being a bishop, because like you got a congregation, you got friends, like you say, you got friends on both sides of the spectrum, you know what I mean? So like
What's the reward?
What's the reward?
It's one word: antidote. Being the antidote.
Being an antidote.
When you see so much sickness and you're chosen by God to be the one to heal, that God used to heal, you know, God allowed me to be in a position to understand pain. And when you understand pain, now you're able to be delivered from pain. You see, a lot of people like to jump over pain. That's why those same wounds are still open.
That's like, so would that be like because I can't remember the scripture, would that be like the concept of like the burning bush, like when you go through it, but
well,
you
the
come
burning
out?
bush is when God spoke to Moses. But
Right.
it would be more so of when the Bible talks about pure gold. right? Pure gold is not gold until it goes through a hot furnace and it burns out all of the impurities. Which
Okay.
is called dross, right? So you have to understand that when the things that I went through wasn't to make me bitter, it was to make me better.
Okay.
And now anybody that's bitter from the same things that I went through, I can be the antidote. That's what the blessing is for me, that God is using me to change minds, to change their situations. Because when we look at a person is only regarded by their character, right? Their character, their structure. And we have to understand it's all about your mind. So if you do not transform your ideology, you will never be able to move forward in what the destiny that God has for you.
Okay.
So if you have somebody to explain, see, when I preach, I'm an expositor. I explain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you get to a person and you say, look, this is what's on the table. This is how you're thinking, right? So if you change your way of thinking, you'll be able to change your perception.
Change your mindset, change your steps.
Right.
Right.
And if
Got
you change your perception, you'll be able to change your reality. Because so many people are walking with a false perception, false imagery, and now they're living a false reality.
That's because of the society, like with the social media and all that. Like you everybody's great on Instagram. Everybody got a lot of money. Everybody getting to the bag. See people, they only take a picture of their head, and but they talking about how great a shape they in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But you don't see their whole body. I'm like, yo, man, somebody's fibbing here.
Right.
Nah, but I definitely could dig it. And like you said too, it's also too, it's a gift to be able to lead souls. It's a gift to be able to preach the word. You understand what I'm saying? So like I know like in you helping people, you talking to people, like is there one story that stands out for somebody that you helped, and like whether it was like you helped them rejoin society, they came to your church, they came to you as a friend. Do you have like one rewarding story that stands out?
Yeah, well, I would say this. All the stories are rewarding to me.
Okay.
Everybody has a different story. Me being a bishop for 5 years now, last week on January 16th, I made being a bishop for 5 years. And there's so many different stories.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But to single out one story would be to talk about all stories at once.
Okay.
And it's all about deliverance. It's all about when a person walk into my church, or when a person comes to me as a mentee, and to see where they are, and them not believing in what I see in them. And then when they follow every word that God is telling me to direct them by, and then they start to see what they never saw inside them, it's just so amazing. It's amazing. It just to see a transformation from an old thought to a new thought, and to see them live in something that they never knew existed inside of them, and to empower a people not to control their mind, but for them to understand they have options, right? Because
get out the box.
Right, and there's a differentiation between leading and being a control freak.
Okay.
Right? I like to lead by example. Like me and my wife, we love one another. So when young men look at me and they see that I'm in a monogamous relationship, I'm not cheating on my wife, I'm not beating on my wife, I'm a young African-American man, I dress fairly nice, I'm able to move, I'm not stuck up.
Yeah, you're not confined.
Yeah, I'm not confined. Right. Now it gives them hope. That
Right. Well, a lot of times too, it's also too what's placed in front of them, because a lot of times they don't get to see you. Right. They don't get to see the yous. Right. They don't get to see the people who look like us who are doing great things. They're only being shown the negative that's on the news, those who are talked about. It's just like you walk out, let's just say I got to take Langston Hughes, because that, we're from being from there, or from Bed-Stuy, Roosevelt, Marcy, Tompkins, wherever. When you walk out of that building en route to school, right, as a youngin', you have to pass so many people that are doing something wrong before you get to that right place. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So then to see someone like you, someone who's doing right, someone like, a loving family, a family structure, because also too, that's a testament in itself too, because so many situations now in life is about, as soon as it's a situation, altercation, It's over. They
Right.
part. Nobody has that fight to
Right.
that resolve.
Right.
So that's ill. So like, I mean, you go from the hood, you know, playing ball, growing up in church, to being ordained, to becoming ordained, becoming a minister, to becoming a bishop. Like that's serious. Those are serious steps, my guy.
Yeah.
Like for real. Like, you know what I mean? Because like I'm not new in church. I have a few years in, but I love the fact that I can go there and get fed the proper nutrients, and the fact that it's being taught from the book. Because, you know, it's so much. Like, you know, you look at some of these shows, you look at some of these people, like a lot of stuff. I mean, people, it's like, I don't know, is it a rubber band or what? Because it's been to fit you. You know what I mean? It's been to fit, you know, to fit the person, you know? And, you know, like you guys that are doing it, even the women pastors and everything. I remember, quick story. My aunt passed away, and first time I had seen a female pastor, right? Or overseer, or, you know, preside over a church or something. And she was talking about all the finer things in life, the clothes, the cars, the watches, the children, everything. And then she stated how we try to add so many things to our lives to be better, when in actuality, the only thing we need to add to our lives to be everything was God. And she pointed out, now at this time I'm in my 30s, and she pointed out the only thing you need to add is God. And she put up a cross and showed how a cross is an addition sign. And all you had to do is add. Yo, that freaked me out. I never looked at a cross as an addition sign. I was yo, nah, that's crazy. And so I'm like, wow. So when I added God, I started to see. So I really want to appreciate you. You know, again, congratulate you on being a bishop and everything, because that's big. And like, how was that? Like, how did you know you was ready to be a bishop?
I never knew. I never knew I was ready for it. You know, just God pushed me to my purpose. And,
Okay.
you know, and you know, also, I didn't have great support when I became a bishop. You know, I was intimidating to other leaders and other bishops. I was intimidating to them that I didn't need any of them. You know, God has opened the doors for me, and therefore they didn't support me. So, you know, it was an uphill battle. I had to build my church on my own. Wow. I didn't have nobody to help me. It was just all me. You know, but God opened that door for me. You know, without God, I would be nothing. So, you know, becoming a bishop it's a really big deal, man, because I'm one of the highest ranking preachers in protocol, you know, it's a heavy mantle. It's a very, very heavy mantle, and I've been through so much in my life that I take my office so seriously. So that's why when I hear other bishops or other pastors that are not doing the right thing, it infuriates me, because you're a reflection of the brand, you know. And that's why I love my wife. That's why I love my children. That's why I make sure I take care of my family, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure people understand that I am a role model, you know. And the bishopric is something heavy, and I'm honored that God chose me, right? Because many are called but few are chosen.
Right.
You know? So just because God chose me, called me and chose me, I have to live up to what he's done. And growing up from where I came from, I understand, like even this campaign that I'm running, it's life or death.
Right.
It ain't no in between.
It's literally for some of us.
Yeah, literally life or death. Literally, there's no in between. I know people who have family members that's in prison, and I know people who have family members that's in the gang, and I know in between that is death. You know what I'm saying? So this what I do in the pulpit, what I do now running this campaign, it's life or death. Period.
Yeah, it is, and it's so crazy because there's so many wrongly convicted, you know. Then there are so many people who deserve to be in jail. You know, it's such a gray area, and we have to pray. We have to band together. You know, we have to give tremendous kudos to your mom. You know what I mean, for doing an amazing job. You know, another strong black woman. You know, like my mom. You know, and it's like, even like with your dad, like what happened with your dad, like that became like from what I'm hearing is like that became so influential in your life.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So like to date, like that influenced you in so many ways. And
Well, can I be honest with
Yeah.
you? That never influenced me.
okay,
What happened to my father never influenced me. Because I didn't know my father. I heard all of the great things that he did, but me hearing things is cool. I've always learned that I have my own shoes to fill,
okay,
right? The activism that I do, the things that I do was not because of my dad, right? What happened with my father, how can I put this? What happened to my father hurt me, right? And it pushed me not to be a statistic,
okay,
right? So if we use the word influence, it would be that I'm not going to die before my time,
okay,
right? It would be that I have to make sure that my children understand who their father is, because I never understood. I, as a young black man, I didn't know my DNA of my dad. I had to run into all different type of walls just to figure out who I am. And I'm still learning as a black man. And I'm 42 years old. So, hearing the stories of my father, I never wanted to be like him. I always wanted to be me. And I thank God for what he's done for the community. But I know that it was my time to do what I needed to do, what God has done for me. And,
right, what you're calling.
Right, and I allowed that pain of not knowing my father, seeing people with their fathers and they hugging their dad. I never got the opportunity to that. But yet, it encouraged me to be a better dad. It encouraged me to show young men that they have to be fathers, because I know what it feels like not to have one.
Right.
So
And that's a push in itself,
Right,
because
right,
you don't
right.
want your kid to experience that, and also too, again, painting the picture, like showing, like you said, showing others like this exists,
Right.
like I have a T-shirt that says "Real dudes still exist,"
Right.
and then I also have one that say "Real dads still exist,"
Right.
but you don't get no credit. You don't get no credit as a dad,
And
like.
I take that pain and I turned it into purpose. And I said, there are too many fatherless children out here in the world, and definitely out here in Brooklyn. And I always say this slogan: why do we have to raise children that have to recover from their childhood?
Nah, that's serious.
Right. And that is what I stand on, right? Why do our community have to recover from some things that we can change right now? You know what I mean? And pain will destroy your destiny. Pain is just inflicted to get you out of the comfort zone, so therefore you can move into what God.
Yeah, because when you're hurting and you hold on to so much, you can't receive the blessings. You can't. Nah, so I definitely agree to that.
Let me ask you this question: do you feel you would have taken a different path if your father been around?
Yeah, I think I probably would have been in the NBA. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I'm on the Wall of Fame in Sheepshead Bay, man. I was putting work in. So I always yearn. I always wish. It's funny you say that, because every time I play ball, I looked in the stand. I see other people's fathers and everything like that. And my uncle Laverne, he was instrumental in helping me grow up. But I never had that support. And I think that if I had my father in my life to help me be a more structured young man at a younger age, I would have made less mistakes, and I would have been more focused and disciplined in athleticism, because I played football too. So I think I'll be in the NBA right now, to be honest with you.
How much of your story about reform do you incorporate into your life?
About reform?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's my story. That's my life. My testimony is the only thing I can speak to. And reform is to take back what was stolen from you, right? And reform is my life. Reform is pretty much never giving up. It doesn't matter what you did in the past. I tell people, when they throw my past at me, I catch it and throw in my future. I tell them, go ahead, add it up. Add up everything that I did wrong. And now you put the plus sign and put Jesus on the other side. because he came to pay my debt. He came to restore my soul. So there's nothing you can tell me that's going to afflict me from what I did in the past because of who I am today. So reform is good.
Smokey Norval, man. He got a song that says that, man. That's my guy.
What are some of your inner conflicts you have to deal with being an ordained minister who worked tirelessly with the community?
Oh, well, conflicts. Are you talking as far as the community? Are you talking about the community? Well, a lot of conflicts that I've had in the community is there are a lot of people that opposed to looking like they want to help the community. They look the part, right? But they're not really a part of the community. A lot of times, people in the community who act as their activism or activists, right? They're actually wolves in sheep clothing.
Excuse me, not to cut you. Are those the people that you see only election time? Those guys, right? Okay.
I call some of them ambulance chasers.
Yeah.
And you know, I always got upset that there are too many pastors that stay confined of the four walls of the church.
Okay.
You know, Jesus' ministry was outside the temple.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of people that I've encountered that they say, okay, how many TV stations are going to be there for this cause? So therefore, they can photo op. And they have used the backs of the oppressed. They use the backs of the oppressed for their own gain.
Yeah.
So this made me aggravated.
It's a lot because, you know, I speak about this all the time on the show, like, you know, because I'm a victim of gun violence. My son was savagely taken by a coward.
Sorry to hear that.
And it drives me crazy sometimes, like when I watch the news and I see stuff, and when it's a white guy committing a crime against a black or something like that, like everybody's out there, they're screaming, the politicians, this one, that one, they're ready, but they don't have the same energy when it's just, when one of us does something to one of us, when all lives should matter.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's so hypocritical to a degree. And like you say, it's like, you have so many people, they're in these seats, but they're not doing anything in these communities. They don't even know people in these communities.
The politicians.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why, you know, me running to be the next Brooklyn Borough president, I'm not a politician.
Right.
I'm for the people.
Okay.
I understand politics because I have to.
Man, it's a must. It's a must. But I don't want to say I'm not an Eric Adams fan. It's just that some things like that are talked about, or some things that he's pushing, or may have spoke out. I don't think it helps us.
Give me an example.
Like with the stop and frisk. Mm-hmm. Like he seemed to be adamant about it being reinstated, or not being dumbed down. I think it's like as if he was for it and everything more so than understanding how it affects us. And maybe I'm wrong because I'm getting bits and pieces. I don't watch the news as much, but what's his stance on that?
Well, I think Eric has a great heart, and I think Eric was the one who opened the door for me to have the option to run for Brooklyn Borough president.
Okay.
Because he's the first African American borough president. I will be the second, and I will be the youngest one to take the office. However, you know, stop and frisk should be stopped by putting people in position to change laws.
Okay.
Right? I look at stop and frisk as a law that has allowed politicians to have a platform in the media as a band-aid, right? Because I think that there should be stronger laws as to the stop and frisk, right? So, and what I mean by that is we put people in position of power, therefore police officers would not even violate our constitutional rights.
Because of the backlash that would come from the people in power. Okay.
Exactly. Because of
the people that's in power.
And the thing about it is that the youth are not involved in voting. The youth are not involved in politics. And
on the local and the community level, you saying in general? Okay.
In general. Obama was the first one that started to bring the youth, the college students out.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the youth, especially in Brooklyn, right, the young boys.
And Eric Adams is from Central Brooklyn, right?
No, where he was born.
Yeah,
he was born in Queens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, the young people are the ones that are not voting. Our elders are the ones voting, but yet the young people are the ones dying.
Right.
The young people are the ones that are getting abused by the police officers. The young people are the ones, because they don't vote, and if they did vote, they will be able to put somebody in office that understands their pain, understands their vision, and they are peers.
Right.
Up to them. And that's one of the main reasons, that's another reason why I'm running for Brooklyn Borough President, is because I understand my community. I understand Brooklyn, right? I understand the mindset. And all of the other candidates that are running, they are connected to politics in some shape, form, or fashion. They are politicians. Period, point blank.
But they're not Brooklynites.
They're not, no. And at the end of the day, this April 30th, I'll be 43 years old. All my life been in Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn born, Brooklyn based, right? I know everybody. I can go anywhere in Brooklyn and be saluted because I understand the pain of the people. So with that stop and frisk, man, when I get into become the president of Brooklyn, a lot of things are gonna stop.
Root for you, bro.
You want to know why things gonna stop?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, because people believe in me, right? The gang members, they believe in me. You know, because they know I'm not going to lie to them. Because my slogan is, he's one of us. I'm one of you.
Right.
Period. Like,
okay.
I told Pat, you know, I said, Pat, if you need me, I'm here, bro. Like, that's it.
Right. I can identify.
I'm not going to get political on them. Well, sir, you got to believe it. No, bro, I'm here.
I had some of them with that. Yo, reach out to me because, I coach basketball. So we need a gym. Yo, give me a call. Here's my personal email. Reach out to them. Never get back to you. I'm like, yo, come on, man.
Let me tell you about that. I understand that story because I play ball, and my son, who's 13 years old now, he's in AAU, and it's hard for them to get to find gyms. So one of the first things that I'm going to implement as the Brooklyn Borough president, all of these schools, there are hundreds of schools in Brooklyn. Their gyms are not being
bring back
used.
the Jackie Robinson, right? Man. Bring back the open gyms.
I'm opening those doors back up. And I'm starting a paid league where coaches get paid. I'm starting a league, just like the NBA, for Brooklyn. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what's up.
Right. And I want to bring back the community, because the reason why our children are outside in the streets is because we close the doors of the community.
Right. So now they don't have nothing but idle time.
It's simple.
Right.
It's simple mathematics. And also, what I want to do, one of my first initiatives, I'm going to fund and start our first Brooklyn black-owned bank. Right, in Brooklyn, because I want to be able for minorities, and no matter what race you are, you can be a part of it. However, it's going to be black owned, okay? And I want to bring back Black Wall Street, and I want to start it in Brooklyn.
Carver wasn't black owned?
Yeah, Carver's black owned, but it's not a Brooklyn black owned.
Right, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Carver is
my dad banked at Carver, so right. Carver and Apple, he banked.
Right. But I want it to be Brooklyn. You understand? I want it to be a Brooklyn bank, where therefore we can take that skeleton and push it out across the nation.
Now that's dope. That's dope. So you have a real huge plan to work with the local politicians and get this thing.
So let me say this, right? There's so many things that's untied, brother. Only if you knew. Right. And what I want to do as the next Brooklyn Borough president, I want to start a division in Borough Hall for illegally incarcerated individuals. So I'm going to have paid lawyers on my staff that go over all illegally incarcerated individuals that are from Brooklyn.
Wow.
I sat with the DA last week for over an hour and a half, and he said, Bishop, man, I have a bill in.
That's considered, what's that? That's considered the blue zone, right? The DAs, like downtown Brooklyn, and for Brooklyn, it's considered the blue zone?
I don't know if it's called blue zone, but the Eric Gonzalez is the DA, the district attorney of the entire Brooklyn.
Okay, Kings County.
Got
you.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the entire Brooklyn.
Got you.
So he told me that he says that he has a law that he's waiting for it to get passed. And there are 62 counties in New York State. And out of the 62 counties in New York State, the men that have 25 and better, 25 to life and more, 1/3 of them come from Brooklyn.
Wow.
Right? And
that's crazy.
No politicians are actually touching this from Brooklyn. Now watch this. Not only are they not touching it, but his law that he wants to pass is if the person from Brooklyn has 15 years or more in, he can file a motion to freedom.
Right. Wow.
Right? Nobody's talking about none of this. But how could they if they don't know the experience? That's
true.
Why I don't care about people saying that I went to prison. I'm glad I went there for the reason that God wanted me to go there.
You know what's crazy too? You say that, right? You talk about Brooklyn. It's crazy. They state that Brooklyn gives the harshest penalties in federal prison. Right? Let me show you how amazing it is. They caught El Chapo in like Phoenix. They brought that dude all the way to Brooklyn to try him. Out of all the federal courts in the country, they brought that dude all the way to Brooklyn, fucked up traffic and everything, man, to bring that dude all the way to Brooklyn to try him. That's crazy. And, you know, dudes get rocked in Brooklyn.
Well,
Gotti, Geraldine Ferraro, she went after him.
The thing about it, I don't see when you deal with the federal courts, they can try you wherever. So I don't know why they brought him.
Right, why that bugs me out.
No, because federal, they can take you wherever. So that's on them.
Yeah.
But the state, we're talking about the state, the Brooklyn DA's office. You know, they're willing to work. They want to get young men and young women out of prison. We went over the numbers, and Eric Gonzalez said, Bishop, do you know there's over 2.6 million people that are incarcerated? No, excuse me. I think it was over 2 million people that's incarcerated, right? And he says statistics states that 2.6% of those people are illegally incarcerated. So that means there are over 50,000 people in prison illegally, right?
Wow.
And at the end of the day, no one wants to highlight that, but I'm going to highlight that.
Man, campaign, man. Put it out there, man. Tell us about what you running for. Tell us what you going to do. Yeah. You hearing it right here on A-Bridge. Go to Patreon, abridgepodcast.com, man, and join the conversation. You know what I mean? Bishop Lamar Miller. Whitehead. I almost said Whitaker.
Well, I'm going to do a lot, man, and it's going to be for the people, by the people.
Okay.
You know, and there's so many things. I want to open up a division that we will assist and pay for young people and people with that an entrepreneur heart that wants to start their own companies. I want my office to pay for the 501c3s to make them legit.
Man, I needed you a couple of years ago.
Right. So because there's so much government funding out here that our people, minorities, I'm not just talking about black, I'm talking about minorities, people that can't afford it, that they can't even touch the grants. They can't even touch the grants at all. Right? And we have so many things being built in Brooklyn, and none of our Brooklynites are involved with it. The reason why we're not involved with it is because we're not educated enough to be involved with it. So I'm going to open up Brooklyn to the community in its totality, right? Where I want to structure real estate financial literacy classes for free.
Do they still have those like Brooklyn town meetings they used to have like at Restoration?
Yeah, but what has that been doing?
No.
Right? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, there are so many politicians running against me, right? And all that's going to happen is the same thing.
Right.
So
it's time for a change.
Right.
Have to be the change, man.
The only way I win is with the new vote. That's it. Right? And that's the only vote that I'm going after. Anybody else that want to come, I would love for them to get on the ride. But at the end of the day, I want the young people to wake up and say, you know what? Give us a shot.
It's time for a change.
It's time
Absolutely.
for us to have a shot, right? So therefore, you know, I did a census, right? Statistics. Me and my team, we did an analysis. From the ages of 17 to 45 in Brooklyn, 98% of the people never knew Brooklyn had a president. They never knew. They never knew. So if they never knew, then that means you couldn't vote.
Right.
And the ones that did say they did know, they didn't know the name.
Right.
And this is the young people. So at the end of the day, we have over 600,000 residents.
Yeah, because a lot of young people don't know like the different levels of the political levels, rather, as councilmen, assemblymen, all that. They know mayor, president.
You want to know why?
Maybe governor.
You want to know why? Because there are no politicians at a lower level that will explain it to
and
you.
identify with them.
You
right.
want to know why? Because at the end of the day, if you identify with young people in Brownsville, East New York, Coney Island, Bed-Stuy, then guess what? They're going to be interested in power. And once you get interested in power and you are amongst your peers, then guess what? You can empower your peers. There is nobody young that's empowering their peers. I'm the one that has stepped up. I'm the one that deal with the celebrities. I have so many different mentees. Fabio Foreign, me and Mano is close. I have a lot of different mentees that are very powerful. And they look up to me because I keep it real with them.
Keep it a buck. Okay.
And at the end of the day, the reason why I'm running is so therefore I can groom younger people. So therefore they can start taking the seats of the assembly, of the council. And I'm starting my own Democratic campaign, committee.
Okay.
And it's going to be named after my father, the Arthur Miller Democrats committee. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm going to sign people up where therefore when they hear that Arthur Miller's Democrat committee is moving forward with someone, everybody's going to know the integrity of that committee. That committee. You know what I'm saying? So the community is now going to be able to lay their hats on something.
Right.
You know, and I want to step out there, but at the end of the day, I ask the young people and I ask the Brooklynites, right? It's time for a change. Everybody's talking about gentrification. Yeah, gentrification is here, but let's right. Why can't we get?
And we ain't gotta make them relevant.
Yeah, right.
And we got stuff to do.
At the end of the day, right? All people matter. So why do we want to move the Caucasian people or the Asian people out instead of the minorities having the right information to be on the same playing field?
To be able to stay.
That's it.
Right.
That's the problem. Equality. That's the problem. And until we balance it, then we'll stop the hate. Because I'm not going to be, Caucasian and Asians, get out of Brooklyn. No. Why?
Nah, no doubt.
Why?
Man, tell these people here, man, what bridging the gap mean to you, man. Because, like you got me motivated. I'm ready to go outside and march, man. Real, man. Ain't even that cold outside. I brought the big coat out today. I'm ready to take a walk.
You know. This show right here is so important to our community. Bridging the gap. I started a award ceremony. It's called the Church Honors Hip Hop Bridging the Gap.
Oh wow!
Right, and what I've done is I allow celebrities to come to church, hear the word of God, and then give them awards from elected officials like the assembly, the council, the borough president, the senator, right? So because they never receive awards like that for the work that they've done in the community. So therefore, I bridge the gap. You see, in order to bridge the gap, you got to be the bridge.
Yes, sir.
Right? So I will bend over as far as giving them my back to walk on, so therefore they can see what I want them to see when they walk over, right? So bridging the gap is so important, and you have to take the chance. And I want to bridge the gap between the youth and politics, the people that don't know politics into knowing.
Make the unaware aware.
Right.
Nah, dope.
Aware. Great words.
Nah, definitely, man. Tell these people where they can find you at on Facebook, IG, etc., Twitter. Everywhere, give them that info.
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook at Lamor, that's LAMOR Whitehead, and you can also find me on Instagram at Bishop Lamor Whitehead. My website, listen, I'm asking everybody to donate, right? I need everybody to donate, right? Let me tell you 2 seconds about that. My website for donations is Lamor Miller Whitehead. That's LAMOR Miller Whitehead.com. All you gotta do is click on that and donate. Let me tell you about this, right? So people would see how I dress and they say, oh, well, he looks successful. Why do he need my money? Because by law, the city only allows me to donate $4,500 to my campaign. And everybody else is limited to $1,500. So if my peers and the people don't donate, I won't have no money to
have enough
staff.
To run, right?
I won't have money to run a campaign.
To run your machine.
So at the end of the day, our people don't understand why we need money.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm asking everybody.
Same thing, lack of knowledge. People just don't understand the concept. They don't understand like what it takes to do what you're doing, to run.
Right.
They don't understand what it takes. So definitely educate them, man. Go out there and support Lamor M. Whitehead,
and
man.
come to church too.
Yeah.
Come to church.
Yeah, I'm about to get there. I work Sundays now, man, but I gotta.
Here you go.
No, I do. I'm 7 to 3 on Sundays, but I gotta make. I'm gonna have to put in a vacation day and
man.
get there, man.
You need to come to church, man. I'm right there at 922 Remsen Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11236. I'm there at 9:30. Service starts at 9:30 in the morning.
Nice. So we get out about 4:15.
Nah. We gotta have a solid church.
Get out of there, man. You need a Gatorade or something. Legs be sleep, boy. Black church.
No,
Come on, there's downstairs to the kitchen, man. Some good llama beans and rice, boy. That
And
good.
y'all can follow me on YouTube. Our church have a YouTube station at Leaders of Tomorrow Ministries, and you can also download the church app. We have a church app. Go to your app store on your phone and just put Leaders of Tomorrow Ministries, and you'll be able to see who we are, what we do. You'll be able to see the videos and
man. I felt good being here with you today, my guy. For real, man. Give us some last words, man. Like I had like a day off here, man. This is what's up, man. But I thank you, brother, for real, man. So I need some encouraging last words, pushing forward, man, from the man, from the bishop. You know what I mean? From the future, for our next Brooklyn Borough president. Your flow.
The last words that I want to say: you are not who they say you are. Right?
Dope.
Be who God say that you were made to be. Right? Any opposition, deal with it, push through with it, and when they throw your past at you, catch it and throw them your future.
Right.
Never give up. Never give up on your destiny. God made you for a reason. I like to say, and I like to end this way. God told me that this campaign is going to be ran off of this message. From the prison to the pulpit to the office of the president.
There you go.
That's my story.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming, man.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thanks for coming.
A-Bridge Podcast, man. Another banger. You heard?
Thank y'all.
For real. We out.
Thank you for tuning in to the Bud and Roach Show.
In 2012, two childhood friends decided to take their conversations to the airwaves, and the Bud and Roach Show was born. Since then, the amount of content produced by this Bushwick Brooklyn duo is staggering. Whether it's live radio, live TV, podcasts, movies, or music videos, Bud and Roach has always delivered the goods since day one and will continue to do so. Today, we are launching the new Bud and Roach show exclusively on Patreon, where you can gain access to over 600 hours of content and counting for just $2 a month. Stay up to date with new episodes, videos, and behind-the-scenes content exclusively at budandroach.com. And follow us at Bud and Roach on Instagram for more insanity. Bud and Roach, doing the fucking since 2012. Because we do the fucking, you heard?